McDonald's serves 69 million customers every single day across 119 countries. The fries, the nuggets, and the burger patties that make up the core of that volume are not made in the restaurant. They are manufactured in massive dedicated facilities, frozen, and shipped through one of the most sophisticated food supply chains ever built. And the process behind each one is more precise, more engineered, and more interesting than anything the Golden Arches suggest. Here is exactly how all three are made. The French fry is the most consumed item on the McDonald's menu, and its supply chain starts with a potato variety that most people have never heard of. McDonald's fries are made almost exclusively from russet Burbank potatoes, a long, starchy variety grown primarily in Idaho, Washington, and other northwestern states with the specific soil and climate conditions the variety requires. Russet Burbanks are selected for one reason above all others. Their high solid content and low sugar concentration produce a fry that is light in color, cooks evenly, and holds its texture during the par fry and finish fry process that McDonald's uses. McDonald's sources its potatoes from a network of contracted farms, and the supply relationship with processors like Lamb Weston, one of the primary frozen French fry manufacturers supplying McDonald's globally, is one of the most strategically managed agricultural relationships in the fast food industry. Farmers growing for this supply chain operate under specific protocols covering variety, planting density, irrigation, and storage conditions, because consistency in the raw potato directly determines consistency in the finished fry. At the processing facility, trucks carrying harvested russet Burbanks are received and sampled. Specific gravity measurements, a proxy for solid content, are taken from each load, and loads that fall below the minimum threshold are rejected before unloading. Approved loads are conveyed from the truck into a wet flume system, a water channel that moves the potatoes gently through the facility while beginning to loosen surface soil, and from there into the washing and stone removal system. High-pressure water sprays and rotating brush rollers clean the surface of each potato, while a rock trap and density separator remove any stones that made it from the field to the facility. After washing, the potatoes move into the peeling system. Steam peeling is the standard approach. The potatoes are loaded into a pressure vessel, exposed to high-pressure steam for a precisely timed burst, and then released to atmospheric pressure. The sudden pressure drop causes the moisture just beneath the skin to flash to steam and rupture the skin away from the flesh. A brief pass through an abrasion peeler with water sprays removes the loosened skin completely. What emerges is a clean, white potato ready for cutting. The cut-up line is where potatoes become the familiar shape. Each potato feeds into a hydraulic cutter, a machine that shoots the potato at high speed through a grid of blades oriented to produce the rectangular cross-section of a McDonald's fry. The standard McDonald's fry specification is a cut approximately 3/8 of an inch across. The cutting is fast, the geometry is consistent, and the resulting fry strips fall onto a water conveyor that carries them forward while simultaneously washing away the surface starch released by cutting. This starch removal step is essential. Surface starch on a fry strip causes rapid darkening in the fryer and produces an uneven color in the finished product. The cut fries then pass through a blancher, a hot water bath that heats them to a temperature sufficient to inactivate the enzymes in the potato that cause color changes during storage and cooking. Blanching also begins the cooking of the starch near the surface of the strip, which helps the exterior develop the right texture during subsequent frying. After blanching, the fries move through a dryer where hot air removes surface moisture. Excess water entering the fryer generates violent steam that disrupts the frying environment and dilutes the oil temperature. From the dryer, the strips enter the par fryer, a continuous oil bath where the fries are partially cooked. Par frying sets the interior texture, develops the initial surface color, and begins building the thin, crisp outer layer that will become the characteristic McDonald's fry texture when finished in the restaurant. The oil temperature and the conveyor speed through the par fryer are set to achieve a specific degree of cooking, not fully cooked, but developed enough that the freezing step preserves a product that can be finished quickly in the restaurant fryer. Coming out of the par fryer, the fries are golden on the exterior, partially cooked through, and still holding their shape cleanly. The par-fried fries move through a second drying and seasoning pass before entering the freezing tunnel. Some fry specifications include a light coating application at this stage, a thin starch-based coating that, when applied to the surface of the par-fried strip, builds a slightly thicker, the crispier exterior in the finished restaurant fry and extends the time the fry stays crispy after being removed from the fryer, a quality attribute that matters enormously in high-volume restaurant operations where fries may sit briefly before being served. The freezing tunnel uses very cold forced air to rapidly freeze the par-fried strips, setting their structure and locking in the degree of cooking achieved in the par fryer. The frozen fries exit the tunnel firm, individually frozen and ready for packaging. They are weighed, loaded into bags, sealed, and packed into cases that enter the frozen distribution network. In the restaurant, the frozen fries go directly from freezer to fryer basket. The finished fry in the restaurant's open oil fryer completes the cooking, produces the final golden color and crispy exterior, and heats the interior of the strip through to the eating temperature. The total time in the restaurant fryer is typically around 3 minutes possible, only because the par frying step at the factory already did the majority of the cooking work. The McNugget supply chain runs through a completely different production system, beginning with chicken that enters the process as boneless breast meat. McDonald's Chicken McNuggets are made from whole muscle chicken breast meat, not mechanically separated chicken, and not a ground meat product. This is a detail McDonald's has been explicit about since reformulating the McNugget in 2003 inches response to consumer concerns about processing methods. The breast meat used in McNugget production is sourced from large integrated poultry suppliers and arrives at the nugget manufacturing facility as boneless, skinless chicken breast already separated from the carcass in a separate processing operation. At the nugget facility, the incoming breast meat is received, inspected, and chilled to the operating temperature required for the grinding and forming steps that follow. The breast meat is fed into grinders similar in design to the grinding equipment used in other processed meat operations, where it is reduced to a particle size appropriate for the forming process. McNuggets are not a smooth emulsion product like a hot dog. The grind is relatively coarse, preserving the fibrous texture that gives the nugget its characteristic chew when you bite through the coating. The ground breast meat is transferred into a mixer where seasoning ingredients, salt, seasoning blend, and a small amount of starch or other functional ingredients are combined with the ground meat until evenly distributed. The mix temperature is maintained cold throughout to prevent protein degradation and to keep the mixture firm enough for the forming machine to work with accurately. The forming machine is where the ground seasoned chicken mixture becomes the distinctive McNugget shapes. McDonald's McNuggets come in 4 defined shapes: the ball, the boot, the bow tie, and the bell, a fact McDonald's has openly shared in its transparency campaigns. These shapes are produced by a forming machine that presses the chilled ground meat mixture through shape dies under controlled pressure, producing a continuous output of formed meat pieces in the 4-shape rotation. Each shape has a specific volume that produces the target piece weight, and the forming machine cycles through the shapes in sequence. The formed raw nugget pieces exit the machine firm, chilled, and holding their shape ready for the coating process. The coating system for McNuggets applies 3 layers in sequence. The first is a liquid pre-dust, a thin slurry of flour, starch, and water that is applied to the surface of the raw formed piece and creates a base layer that improves adhesion of the subsequent dry coating. The pre-dust coated piece then passes through the dry breading station, a bed of seasoned flour mix that coats all surfaces of the piece as it tumbles through the breading conveyor. The dry breading contains the specific seasoning blend that contributes to the McNugget's flavor profile on top of the coating. After the dry breading, the piece passes through a liquid batter applicator, a curtain of thin, light batter that flows over and around each piece, sealing the dry breading layer underneath and providing the outer coating surface that becomes the McNugget's visible exterior after cooking. This 3-layer coating system, pre-dust, dry breading, batter, is standard in commercial breaded chicken nugget production and is what produces the even, consistent coating thickness that consumers expect. From the coating system, The battered raw nuggets enter a pre-fryer, a short pass through hot oil that sets the outer batter layer. This pre-frying step is critical because it fixes the shape and texture of the coating before freezing, ensuring the coating doesn't absorb moisture or become soggy during the freezing and distribution process. Without this pre-fry set, the coating would separate from the meat surface during handling. The pre-fried nuggets then enter a convection oven that partially cooks the interior of the chicken piece, raising the internal temperature toward but not reaching the full cooked temperature. This partial cooking in the oven, combined with the pre-fry on the coating, produces a par-cooked product that is then blast frozen. In the restaurant, the frozen nuggets are finish fried in the open fryer, completing the cooking of the interior and crisping the coating to the finished state. Frozen nuggets are weighed, counted, bagged, and cased for frozen distribution on the same cold chain that carries the fries from factory to restaurant. The burger patty supply chain is a separate operation entirely, beginning with beef and operating through a manufacturing process that is among the most carefully controlled in the meat industry. McDonald's beef patties are made from 100% pure beef. No fillers, no binders, no extenders. The beef used in McDonald's patties comes from a blend of lean beef trimmings from multiple primals, selected and blended to hit a specific lean-to-fat ratio. The standard McDonald's hamburger patty specification targets approximately 80% lean, 20% fat, a ratio that produces a patty with enough fat to cook with moisture and flavor without excessive shrinkage or greasiness. The beef is sourced from approved suppliers and arrives at the patty manufacturing facility as fresh or chilled trim in large combos, or in some cases as primal cuts that are trimmed at the facility. At the patty plant, the incoming beef is inspected, tested, and staged for the grinding operation. Beef trimmings are fed into large industrial grinders that reduce the mix to a ground consistency in 2 passes, a coarse grind followed by a fine grind that produces the uniform texture of a McDonald's patty. Between or after grinding, the ground beef blend moves through metal detection, an important food safety check at this stage, before the product is formed, because any metal contamination introduced by equipment in the grinding process is caught here before it enters the finished product. The ground beef moves from the grinder to the patty forming machine, one of the central pieces of equipment in the operation. The patty former is a high-speed machine that takes a continuous input of ground beef and presses it through a mold plate containing a series of patty-shaped cavities arranged across the width of the machine. The beef is pressed into each cavity under controlled pressure, forming a patty of the specified diameter and thickness. The McDonald's standard hamburger patty is approximately 3.5 inches in diameter when raw and 1/10 of a pound in weight before cooking dimensions that are maintained to within tight tolerances by the forming machine's calibration. Each formed patty is released from the mold onto a conveyor and moves forward as a thin, round disc of ground beef firm from the cold operating temperature and holding the circular shape imparted by the mold cavity. The formed patties are IQF frozen individually, quick frozen in a freezing tunnel that moves each patty through a blast of very cold air. Freezing individual patties rather than stacking them unfrozen is essential for handling. It allows the patties to be stacked, packaged, and shipped without sticking together and without requiring any separation material between them. The frozen patties exit the tunnel rigid and individually discrete, moving to the stacking and packaging line, where they are stacked in the count required for the packaging format, typically a stack of multiple patties in a paper interleaved format for easy separation in the restaurant, and loaded into cases. The cases of frozen patties enter the same frozen distribution network as the fries and nuggets, temperature controlled at or below 0 degrees Fahrenheit through regional distribution centers to individual restaurant locations. At the restaurant, the frozen patty goes directly from freezer to grill, a clamshell grill that cooks both sides of the patty simultaneously from above and below, producing a fully cooked patty in roughly 40 seconds. The high heat of the grill surface creates the Maillard browning on both faces of the patty that produces the cooked beef flavor, and the clamshell design ensures the interior reaches the required cook temperature throughout. The cooked patty is transferred to the assembly station where the bun, condiments, and toppings are assembled in a standardized sequence to produce the finished burger. The bun itself, soft, slightly sweet, sesame-seeded, is produced in commercial bakeries using a continuous production process, similar to standard enriched bread production, portioned into the specific diameter and weight of the McDonald's bun specification. Proofed, baked, cooled, and sliced before being distributed fresh to restaurant locations on a delivery schedule that ensures freshness within the quality window. Buns arrive at restaurants daily in most markets, distinguishing the bun supply chain from the frozen products that constitute the patty, fry, and nugget supply. At the restaurant, the three production lines, the fry supply chain from the potato processing facility, the nugget supply chain from the formed and coated chicken operation, and the patty supply chain from the beef grinding and forming plant converge at a single service counter. Each product finished in the restaurant through its own final cooking step. The fries finish fried in the open fryer, the nuggets finish fried alongside them, the patty cooked on the clamshell grill, the assembly of the finished meal, fries bagged, nuggets counted into their box, burger wrapped is the last step in a supply chain that began on a contracted potato farm, a broiler house, and a beef processing facility, and traveled through multiple dedicated manufacturing operations, a frozen distribution network, and a restaurant kitchen to reach 69 million customers every single day. 3 separate factories, 3 separate supply chains, 3 separate frozen distribution streams, all converging on the same tray, in the same bag, handed over the same counter, timed to arrive simultaneously in a finished meal that most people spend less than 15 minutes eating. That is what is actually behind the menu. And now you have seen all of it. If this level of detail is what you come here for, a like takes 1 second and makes a real difference. Subscribe for more supply chain and factory documentaries, and leave a comment telling us which restaurant, brand, or product you want traced from source to finished plate next. The process is always more interesting than it appears from the outside,